Hi everyone, my name is Anuj. I'm a developer and I love teaching. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is a programming language. So, if you're trying to learn any programming language, let's say C, C Sharp, JavaScript, and Python, so the first thing is you should have an intuition what is a programming language and why do we need it. So, we can say programming is the act of constructing a program, and you may say like what is a program. So a program is a set of precise instructions telling a computer what to do. Most programming is done with programming languages. A programming language is an artificially constructed language used to instruct computers. So we can say that, so as you know, programming language, so this language is artificially constructed, so it has its own rules, and in a fancy way, we call them syntax. So, most of the programming languages they have same logic, but the way we write them is different. Okay, so in the same way, we have a different way to write French and English, but we have same emotions. Now, what are characteristics of programming languages? So first thing, as I told you, which is syntax, rules and the structure of the language, the way we are writing the language, and semantics, meaning and the interpretation of the code, and the second and the third thing is abstraction. Now, you may wonder like what is an abstraction? So the meaning of abstraction is that it allows us to hide complex details and focus on important parts of our program. Meaning, or I can give you an example, it's like using a car without worrying about how the engine works internally. So we really don't need to know how things are working. We just need to know how to write programming languages so that we can instruct computers. And I also think like that to be a good cook, you don't need to be a good farmer. So programming languages provide tools and pre-built functions to help you achieve tasks without getting lost in the nitty-gritty details. So, yes. Now, how programming languages work? All right. So, it's so on my screen you can say you can see source code and compilation, and there is like one executable code and machine language. So we started with programming languages. So broadly, programming languages, you can divide programming languages in two parts: high level languages, high level programming languages, and low level programming languages. In high level programming languages, they are close to English, okay, and low level languages are low level languages is just zero and ones. So computer understands only zero and ones, and all the electronic devices they understand zero and ones. You can on and off, you can turn on and off any electronic devices. They have this feature. Even any simple electronic device or a very supercomputer, they have this common thing that you can turn on and turn off, which is just saying zero and off. They have this uh, thing. All right. Okay. So So what I'm saying is computers they do not understand high level programming language. They only understand machine language which is zero and ones. Okay. But we learn only high level programming languages. We don't learn low level programming languages. And why we don't learn low level languages? Because they are difficult to read, understand, and also to learn. Okay, so you can you can think about this thing that binary 0 and 1s I was talking about. And now if I want to write, or if I just want to write hi with the exclamation mark, I would need to write something like this: 100 100 and 100 1001 and 100 001. Okay. And as you can see, it is quite complicated and difficult to understand. Okay. So first, if I want to understand this, then I would need to convert this um, into numbers like 72, 73, 33. You can do this calculation. Let me show you how you can do this calculation. You can do this calculation like this. Okay. This is like 2 raised to the power 0, 2 raised to the power 1, and you will do that. But you don't need to worry about it, and you also don't need to know how to do all this calculation. But I'm just like telling you to give you an intuition about programming languages. So that's why we don't learn low level programming languages. Again, difficult to read, difficult to write, and difficult to understand as well. So if I want to write something, then my code would look like this. Okay. And you can see that now you need to learn, now you need to like first convert this thing into something else and then into English. So, computer scientists thought that we should have something which is close to English and easier to understand. So, that's why we have high level programming languages. So, you can imagine with this diagram that we will write source code, and we can write our source code uh, using Python, C, C++, C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, etc. Many programming languages. And this is a compiler, and this compiler will translate my code into machine code, which is a low level language and 0 and 1. So I don't need to worry about what's going on here in machine code, and I also don't need to worry about what to do in the compiler. Okay, I just need to know how to write my source code. So if I just go back to my slide, so that is the source code and compilation. So I will compile my source code and then it will be converted into machine language. Okay. And sometimes we also call this executable code. Okay. Moving on. So now you may say, okay, if I want to write hello world, okay, and imagine that if you want to write hello world, you need to do something like this. Okay, this is a low level language. This is the way you would write hello world in um, low level language. But how would you write hello world in high level programming language? So if you are using C language, then you would write hello world like this. You need to write 1 2 3 4 5, and you may say like, oh, this looks weird. Yes, of course. As I told you, these are programming languages and they have their own syntax. Okay, so we will write hello world like this. Now if I want to write hello world in Java, then I will write something like this. Class hello world public static and system.out.println. Don't worry about the syntax. Just understand that how would you write hello world in different programming languages. And now about C sharp. So in the C sharp, you would write like this, hello world. Okay, and you will write all these lines. In Python, you will write like this. You will just write hello world and just that. Very simple, okay? That's why Python is very famous. And in JavaScript, you would write like this, console.log hello world. So Python and JavaScript, they are quite easier to understand and easier to read, and they are not heavily syntaxed, okay? All right. So let's talk about popular programming languages and their uses. So broadly, we are talking about, so Python is a versatile programming language, easier to read, easier to understand, and easier to write. And we can use in web development, data analysis, AI, and there are like many more domains where you can use Python. Java, this is platform independent. You can run Java wherever you like, and Android development. You can also use Java in Android development. JavaScript is for it is for web development, but you nowadays you can use JavaScript also anywhere you like. Okay, and C++ is also powerful and efficient programming language, and people use this to make games. And Ruby, known for its simplicity and use for web applications. So now you may say like, okay, what to learn? Okay, should I learn Python? Should I learn Java, JavaScript, which is better? So you don't need to worry about it. Okay, if you are just starting, I would say pick any programming language. Any programming language. It does not matter. Take any language, because as I told you, logics and the concepts, you will find the logics and the concepts, okay, in all the programming languages, and they are same. Okay, so try to understand, try to learn any programming language you like, and don't worry about if I'm learning the right programming language or something like that. Just stick to one programming language, just make something out of it, and then later on you can switch to something else. Because as a developer, as a software engineer, you will use more than, or maybe like two or three programming languages in your life. Okay, so maybe if you're working in a company, they may be like working on JavaScript. Now they have got a new project, and now they want you to work with Ruby, so you will learn Ruby. Okay, but if you know how to write JavaScript or Python or Java, it will be easier for you to do Ruby. Okay, so with just like maybe a week, or yeah, you will able to learn all the syntax in a week, or maybe like 15 days, not more than that, if you know and if you understand one programming language very well. Okay, so that's it for what is a programming language, and see you next time.